It's about 6 o'clock, July 17th. Waiting for my hiking partner today. And going to be attempting Palisade Glacier again. We'll see if I can get to the top this time. It's going to be a pretty grueling 17 and a half miles. But hopefully my water won't be frozen this time. It just seems so much further. It just seems so much further that we were way down there plus another like 3 miles around the curve.
Yeah, it seems like we should be closer.
Didn't think I was gonna make it. Here it is. Palisade Glacier, southernmost in North America. Surrounded by 14,000 foot peaks. Heading down. I was all the way up there. Right below that far back peak is the glacier. And I was there. Man. Finally back at the parking area. Okay, just wanted to do a quick recap of this hike. There wasn't too much video and pictures of this hike, or even narration that I do in a lot of my hikes. A couple reasons. One, I did this hike last year and got to, almost to the top where the glacier is. So everything looks exactly the same. It's the exact same hike, so that video will be in the description. And then also, when I was getting higher up, I was just really tired, so didn't take a lot of video, but I did, of course, take video of the glacier itself and stuff. I'll just do a quick recap. The first few miles of the canyon here are just pretty standard, just a regular trail. We got first lake, second lake, third lake. Right about here is where you cross that stream on the two logs. Those logs seem a little more wobbly than I remember, but got across. And I want to mention I did hike with a friend from Lancaster, another Steve. So he's wearing red. He's kind of in a few of the videos. But anyway, so heading up this hill here to the meadow, Sam Mac Meadow. I was really tired at this point. I was a little bit more tired this time than I remember being last time. I was really tired last year, but I don't know, I just felt more tired. It could be, I don't know, I guess it could be a combination of things, but I was moving pretty slow, but got to the meadow, really nice meadow, crossed the stream, continued climbing this little ridge line, went across here, and then we got to the really horrible rocks. So this little stretch is just all rocks. You have to slowly kind of scramble and get around while heading a little bit uphill. And then this little section, it kind of turns into these large flat rocks that are easier to climb because you're not constantly worrying about falling between rocks or anything. But still, I think it's probably overall a little bit steeper. So it's very tiring. And I was absolutely gassed by this point. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to make it to the glacier, but there's actually quite a few people. There's probably about at least 10 other people also climbing this glacier at the same time, and we're all kind of taking turns being really tired, and we'd pass each other and kind of talk a little bit. Anyway, I think all of us got to the top. I got to about where I was last year, and the other Steve and me, I think we're about ready to call out. We're just exhausted. He's in a lot better shape than me, so I was probably he was probably tired, mostly just because I was slowing him down. But I popped some Powerade, and I guess that Powerade was just enough to make one last push, and it got me close enough where it's like, the top is right there. You might as well just finish it off. So we got to the top. I did originally want to actually, go over to the glacier and, touch it or something, but you do have to climb down like 100, 200 feet or whatever of rocks just to do that. And I'm like, I'm tired. Screw that. I don't want to do that. So just looking at the glacier was good enough for me. Got all my pictures and stuff, and then started heading back. Only spent about 15 minutes here. I remember last year, this little chasm here filled with snow. I didn't know if it would be dangerous to cross because I thought this side might be a little bit easier to climb, but you can't get over there. This year the snow was gone and it was just a chasm, so stepping on the snow you would have just fallen who knows how many feet, 15 feet, 20 feet. So you didn't want anything to do with that snow. And then it looked like last year, probably because I was so tired, just looked like all those little flat rocks you had to climb, just looked like it kind of dead-ended into a wall. So from my vantage point, it looked like, oh, I just can't continue. But you know, it wasn't that bad to climb. I mean, it was exhausting, but you know, it's no worse than the rest of this whole section here. So anyway, I started heading back. This little detour on the right. The other Steve thought he'd find. Thought he saw an easier route a little bit further down. Um, but I let him. I told him, hey, you can get back to your car a lot faster, so just go. So he took off, and he was a speck in the distance after just a short distance. He was ready to go home. So I kind of started following his route, and then I knew wanted to get back on the trail about here, and I knew I was kind of off course, but at this point, there's really no way to get back up, so I kind of hugged too far to the left, which kind of put me in way too many rocks, so I spent way too extra time on rocks than I originally wanted to, so he probably went even further down, and then so he probably had an easier time, but with a bit more lack of benefit of actually having the little route already on my iPad I was following, seeing how far to the right I was. I kept trying to go left, and it was throwing me into rocks, so it was still a bit more tedious than I wanted, but really didn't have to be that tedious, but it is what it is. I eventually, about here, I just decided I don't know how to get to this trail, so I just headed up a steep slope, and it was exhausting, but I got back on the trail and then continued. Back at this Sam Mac meadow, I actually it's about this stream there is about, I don't know, 20 feet wide, maybe a little more, and there's these big rocks you hop across to get across it. It's not too deep, and it's not like this roaring thing that's going to sweep you away or anything. But I kind of stepped in the water a little bit, so my feet were wet, and then I was on a rock, and then I jumped to this big, large rock, and I immediately slipped and fell right on my butt in front of like 10 people watching. So that was kind of embarrassing. Um, but I very lightly skinned my just above my elbow, but not even enough to bleed, so that was fine. Actually, my backpack, because I kind of fell on my butt and fell backward, my backpack just kind of cushioned me, so it was really not that bad. Anyway, it was mostly just my ego that was took a hit. Anyway, got back up and then continued on. Probably mile 10 or so is when my feet really started to hurt. Probably need to invest in some better shoes, and the last 6 miles, my feet were just killing me. Um, Otherwise, it could have been 30 minutes faster or whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and looking forward to future hikes.